Overwatch, the ravishing Carolina Ravassa!
Facts Convention. I keep saying hacking hacks like I can't speak English. Hey guys! Thank you. I'm like, are you awake? We need to give you coffee. It's Sunday morning. I will say I'll give you extra points because you're here early on a Sunday morning. That's amazing. You all get boobs.
Yesterday you told us about the waffles,
Yes.
the fries, the beer.
Where?
So how about the chocolate? Did you?
Yes, I had some chocolate yesterday in the green room.
Okay. All right, now we can.
Perfect.
Now we can talk. All
Yes,
right.
now we can talk. I also had some moonfleet. I don't know how to say it in Flemish. Oh, sorry. Is that right? Is that bad? Oh, okay. Anyway, I had mussels and fries, and I had some wine. It was a lovely evening last night. I love that shirt. I have it too. Yes. So since we're, a little group, we can kind of pretend we're in my living room. Welcome. And ask me questions about whatever you like. I will decide if I answer them or not. And we'll just have a fun 30 minutes. So feel free to ask away.
Maybe it's a good idea to start off, for those who were not here yesterday,
Yes.
to explain how you got the part or how you got into voice acting in the
Sure.
first place.
So a lot of the Overwatch voice actors just do voice work, but other ones like Anjali, I'm sure you've never heard of her. She plays Symmetra. A lot of us like her, and Lucy. We do a lot of on-camera acting, theater acting, and part of that is voice acting. So it's like a branch of the tree. That's how I like to explain it. It's really freaky that my face is so big up there. I'm not going to look over there. Part of being an actor is auditioning for a bunch of roles, and so you're always going out on job interviews, what we call auditions, and we, read a script and they tell us, we need this accent, we need that accent, and so we try to do our best, or we need a high-pitched voice like Diva, or we need a badass character like Sombra, and then we kind of put forward what we think they would like. And so I auditioned. Among the many auditions I've done, I've been auditioning for about 11 years, which means I probably have not booked a good 1,000 roles, and Sombra is one of the ones I did book, which is amazing. And so I read a few lines in Spanish with a Mexican accent, and then a few other lines talking like this, like Sombra, and that was that, and I forgot about it. And then 2 months later, they called me and said, you got this job for Blizzard, and I said, I didn't audition for that. I said, no, you did, you booked it, her name is Sombra, and I go, no, I know I didn't audition for a character named Sombra. Well, I had auditioned for a character called Noche, which means night. But I think that was like their secret name because they like to be super secretive about stuff before it comes out. So anyway, then I recorded a 4-hour voice session, and they said, we might call you next week to record some more, and I said, okay. And then we recorded for about 5 weeks, which was super cool, but I had no idea what Overwatch was. I didn't know that you guys had been playing it for about 6 or 8 months before I started recording. And then Sombra came out in November, and I was like, oh my god, what is this craziness? And that was that. I got to go to BlizzCon, and I met a lot of the other voice actors, and then Johnny Cruz did that crazy video where he meets us all and we interact with him, and the rest is history. Ta-da!
Cool, I already saw some hands going up, so...
Those are the secrets of voice acting, everybody.
First of all, I'm very happy you're here. So welcome to Belgium. I'm from the Netherlands. So
oh, thank you for coming.
Yeah, I actually saw you were coming, and I was like, I need to get here.
Yes.
So my question is, I also follow your YouTube channel, and I saw your Spangler-Saxon series. It was very hilarious. I was wondering, are you going to do something like that again, or are you planning to?
Well, for those of you who don't know, besides me doing ridiculous videos with the Overwatch voice actors and putting them on my YouTube channel, the reason I started that YouTube channel is to do my own web series called Hispanglo-Saxon, the name of the channel, to tell my stories of casting. And so I put a bunch of wigs on and I do a bunch of accents and act ridiculous, and that's kind of where that came from. I've been so busy with Overwatch the last year and a half that I hadn't had time or the energy to think about it, but I've gotten excited thinking about it again, and I want to do, I don't think I'll be telling stories the way I'd been doing it in a narrative sense of Overwatch, of Hispanglo-Saxon, but I want to do the characters and have them talk into camera and like maybe give advice or say more ridiculous stuff. So I'm trying to think about what kind of videos they would do, but I have all the wigs in like a little suitcase and all the costumes. I take them around everywhere like a crazy person. So I want to do stuff with it. I haven't figured out quite what yet, but it's coming because I feel like I want to keep creating my own stuff, not just waiting for other jobs that are cool but still hard to get. So hopefully by 2019 at least I'll have some videos, or maybe even in December I'll be launching some stuff. We'll see. Thank you for that question. I also have that shirt. Guys, I have a collection of Overwatch gear. Yes, thank you.
I was wondering, you spoke about theater acting, screen acting, voice acting. Which one is the most rewarding and which one is the most demanding?
Oof, they're all so different. I think theater's beautiful because you get an immediate response from the audience, and you're kind of living this adrenaline in the moment, and you get to prepare for 2 months or a month before you go on stage. And then if you mess up, you kind of have to improv in the moment, which really keeps you alive, you know? I love on-camera acting because it's so subtle, and you work with so many amazing people, and scene work can be so tiny, and it doesn't have to be like I'm talking to the last row. I think film work is demanding because sometimes it's really long hours on set. It can be 16-hour days, and by the end you're just ready to pass out. So I think it can get really tiring. And voice acting, I mean, sometimes I end up after a session of screaming for video games, like I can't talk the next day. So it's weird because they're demanding in really different ways. But I love them all, you know? I don't want to have to choose one. Hopefully I don't have to. But they're all unique in their ways. I love them all, for sure. Hi.
Hello. So, after you've done the role of Moira,
after I did the role of Sombra. Hello, I'm Sombra. Carolina, yes. It's okay, it happens all the time. I know I look Irish and stuff, but...
I completely messed up names.
You're
Anyhow,
it's okay.
Have you started playing Overwatch ever since, or haven't even played it once?
Since I started the role of Reinhardt, my friend John, I played in BlizzCon, and guys, I was so pathetic. I was next to my friend, and I don't play video games. I'm really bad at it, and I didn't understand how the game worked, so I didn't realize he could see me. I thought I was in my own little world, so I was kind of discovering stuff, but I couldn't figure out the controls, so I kept hitting a wall, and after a while he goes, "Garo, why have you walked into that wall like 75 times? And I'm like, you can see me? So I was super embarrassed, and then I jumped off a cliff and died, which was also ridiculous. So after that, I never played again because I was so scared, but then I played once with, have you heard of the video game Detroit Become Human? So I'm friends with the guy who plays Connor. We met years ago doing a film together, and so I went on his Twitch live stream, and we played Overwatch together, and we were both absolutely horrible. And every time one of them him or I killed somebody, we took a tequila shot, which you would think was 75. No, we did like 2 shots because we're both pathetic. So you can see that on my YouTube channel, and you will laugh horribly at me because I'm so bad. So I don't know if I'll play again. I'm just not made for gaming. I'm made for voicing characters, not playing them in games, so we'll see. I might take a tutorial from a good Sombra player and see how it goes. I'm serious. I'm in touch with a Sombra expert called Fitzy here on Twitter. Yeah, and he interviewed me recently, and we're going to do a session together where I'll learn some tricks. But I'm never going to get good at it. Absolutely never. I don't have the time or the skill to do it. So. Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
My question is, how do you get to be a voice actor, and what are the skills that you need?
Poor John over here is still worried that he called me Moira. I mean, he's so cute, you know? Or Peter, or Joseph, or Jürgen. You are so fine, like, don't even worry about it. I actually think it's hilarious. But please ask me the question again. I totally ignored you because he's, like, over there freaking out. Yeah.
Hey, I asked, how do you get to be a voice actor, and what are the skills that you need?
Wow. You know, I think voice acting is acting in general. So I took a bunch of acting classes as a kid, and then I went to college and I studied theater. So I learned how to use my voice and how to do accents and how to breathe properly. Because believe it or not, if you're talking, and you don't know how to breathe, and all of a sudden you hear that, and then it's not good. Like, you need to know how to really. This is an instrument, and you need to know how to use it. So. I would recommend taking voice classes and then looking in your local community and seeing like what kind of voice work can you do in Ghent or in Brussels and Ghent, sorry. And then also I like to recommend a website called iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. I'm serious. And it gives you a bunch of tips on how to actually get into it and how to start recording your own demos and looking online to see how you audition for stuff. So definitely check that out. But I think you have to have a good ear. You have to be a good actor. You need to know how to convey emotion. It's not just about the voice, because anybody can have a good voice. But if they're a terrible actor, you don't want to listen to them, you know? So I think it's a mix of things. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm also going to ask a question about the Hispanglo-Saxon YouTube channel. Recently we had Matilda Smidius on there. Could you give us a hint to who might be coming next?
Oh, you know, before, when I did May, I knew I was hitting Matilda next because I was going to see her. But right now it's just, I mean, it's really hard to get in touch with Moira, my character, or I'm not going to let you live it down because it's so cute. Or who's the other one? Saw, who plays Doomfist. So I want to get in touch with them, but they're so busy acting. Hello. Get on social media for a minute, please. So I mean, I'd love to get in touch with them, but it's hard. So we'll see who's next. I don't know. Or you know what? Hammond. I'd love to get in touch with Hammond. Are you guys playing Hammond? Are you liking him? And he squeaks, and he also does a robot voice. You know, that's 2 voice actors. How do we feel about the robot? Yeah, good, okay, weird, okay. All right, just wondering. I haven't played, so obviously I don't know, but I think it's cool that it's 2 voice actors. Yes. Actually, the website I gave you, iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, the guy who does the voice of the hamster is a very, very talented voice actor in Los Angeles, and that's his website. So he's giving you like the best tips because he's such a huge professional. D. Bradley Baker. Yeah.
So Overwatch is action-packed, Sombra is very physical in the game. You're recording this in the studio. How do you convey that, doing the lines with the action while you're just in the studio with headphones on?
I do this, and I nap a little bit, and then I go, hack the planet. No, but I'm sure that's what Zenyatta does. Are you kidding? He's like, pass into the iris. I'm dying. You know, like what? No, thank you, Mark. Some of them, I'm always standing. I always stand, and sometimes I take my shoes off. For some reason, it gets really hot in the voice studio, so I end up doing it barefoot. And I always stand kind of, you know, tall and like, are you following me? Whoa. And, you know, because she's commanding, and so she's got to give you like, hack the planet. I can't be like, hack the planet, you know? So it's like, I have to feel strong in order to say her lines really strong. And then when we're running, you know, I start doing this, and sometimes we're like, Carolina, we can hear you in the booth. I'm like, oh, sorry. So then we have to record it again, because like my earrings will sound, or like, I don't know, my belt, or like I'll hit something in the, oh my God, once I flung something and it broke. I mean, I'm active, obviously. As you can tell, I'm hyperactive. But I usually try and like, to do something physical, or if she's like, they like to, I don't really punch anybody, but it's like exertion. You know, you kind of have to put your body into it, or else it just sounds a little bit stagnant. So those are good voice acting tips, you know, like really get your body into it if you can, you know, in the studio. Absolutely. Hello.
Yeah, hi. What's your favorite skin for Sombra?
Ooh,
or Moira?
Or Moira. I love the Dave Bowie skin. No, know. For Sombra, I love Tulum. Tulum is super cool. Also, because I think I like the ocean and all that stuff. And I get to say, hey, dude, which is hysterical. I like that. Well, I'm not crazy. I mean, it's kind of freaky, the new Diablo skin I have. But I like that I have a new ultimate with it. If you haven't gotten the skin, because I know you have to get a loot box and all that stuff or buy it, but I have a new ultimate just with that skin, and it says, the darkness waits for you. La oscuridad te espera! So it's kind of like apagando las luces, but only for that skin, which is kind of cool. And which one else do I love? Oh, I love the original. I think I connected with that since the beginning, so I really like that one.
Hi.
Hi, wave at me. Oh, hi.
Hi, I come from Denmark and I went here to see all the panels. I think you're all really cool, and especially you're just really good on a stage and really entertaining, so
Thank you.
cool.
Tusen tack.
Oh, du har så lätt.
I don't speak anything. I just know forever I practice how to say flu, flu, me flu.
Well, come flu. Yeah,
It's the hardest word or words in Danish, so I'm working on those.
That was really good. But I think it's really cool that as a voice actor you went into the gaming kind of world, because often as women playing computer we're seen as kind of inferior, and we get a lot of sexist things. Also, when I play with other guys, it's really horrible. And so, how do you view that? I think it's really cool that you just express yourself as a character, and yeah, it's really inspiring.
Thank you. I think the only thing that saddens me about we love the Overwatch community. We love your positivity. We love the fan art. We the voice actors, we love the expression of love towards us, towards the game, towards the diversity. I really get saddened when I hear that there's toxicity in game and that there's online bullying. Like I just think that's horrible, because it's supposed to be a fun game. I mean, unless you're playing professionally, but still, you don't need to call somebody a beep, 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 beep. Like, there's no point. And the sexist stuff obviously bothers me, but I do think that Blizzard is trying really hard, especially in this game, to make all of these characters complex and smart and strong, and all of the women are really smart. They're not ditzy and like, ew, I got a little gun and I'm gonna shoot you. It's like they have a purpose, and they know how to use their powers. So I think that that's inspiring a lot of people to understand that we can both commune together. I hope that changes, and I think there are more gamer girls that are really badass and really good at the game, and the more they come forward and show their colors, the more guys are going to be like, wow, I respect this chick, I also love that guys play female characters and females play men, because it just goes to show that it's not like, I'm a dude, I'm gonna play dude characters, or vice versa. I love when guys tell me that they play Tracer. It's because Tracer's so cutesy and stuff, but like they don't mind because it's about the powers she has. So I think that they've done a really good job in doing that, and all I can hope for is that we make this a better online community for playing and enjoying yourself. That's the whole point of it, and making friends online, and understanding that women can be smart and strong and interesting and funny and sarcastic and all that stuff. Just like all the dude characters have been in so many video games since the beginning of video games, Thank you for that question. I think it's a really important subject. And then up front over here, there's another question. Hi.
Hey, could you do maybe a few, voice lines of other characters as Sombra?
Oh, yeah. I love doing that. I want to hug you like a big, fuzzy Siberian bear. Or Adon Pagatovnosti. I think that's her ultimate. Fire in the hole. Justice reigns from above. I kind of feel like she wouldn't scream them. She would just be like sarcastic about them all, I don't know, she already does cheers, love. I don't know, give me some other voice lines. I forget them, You are not meant for greatness.
As a voice actor, your skills include, I presume, like 1,000 types of voices. The range must be huge, or the accents that you can do.
You know, I don't think that voice acting is just about accents. Some voice actors don't do accents. They just do a bunch of different little characters that have no. It's like pitch and stuff. I love accents. So like I would like to play a French person who's like smoking a cigarette and talking like this, you know. Or I love playing little kids.
Like this, and then there's the ones that have a list, you know, so it's like kids that get in there and she speaks properly and they get all super confused. And then there's the little stuffy kid who's like obviously wearing glasses and there's like boogers running down his face.
So I think that like you can have a kid voice and then there's like all these different additions you can do or accents on a kid. Like I play a lot of little Hispanic kids as well, so you have to talk like this, you know? So it's like what can you do with that kid voice and expand it? So that's how we kind of create a bunch of voices. One of my favorites is my Jewish old lady,
because she just talks like this the whole time, you know, and it's fabulous, honey.
So yeah, I mean, it's a matter of talking to yourself a lot and being crazy at home, or on the subway and just having people think you're insane. So I do talk to myself a lot though. Like if I'm watching stuff, I'll try to imitate. Like I've been imitating you guys all day, trying to understand what the heck the Flemish accent is like, but not because I'm making fun, but that's kind of how I like to learn, you know? So that's all. Thank you, Mark. Great questions.
Hi, mine is sort of related.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I was raised bilingual by my parents, and I was wondering as an actress, or voice actress specifically, how often is it an asset? Because I presume it's a big asset for Sombra, and how often is it maybe a disadvantage that people will typecast you for?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, the reason I started my web series was because I would show up to an audition for, you know, an American character, and then as I'm doing my scene, they look at my resume and they go, oh, wait, you speak Spanish and Portuguese and Italian. So what are you? And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm Hispanic, but I grew up in the States as well, so I'm kind of, no, but I don't understand. And why do you speak Portuguese? Are you Brazilian? And then they'd get confused, and it was like, oh my God, I'm throwing too much at them. And then they were like, I don't know, you don't quite convince us as Sally, but you're also too white to play Maria Dolores. So I don't know, we just don't know what to do with you. And I was like, are you kidding me? Just give me, like, I'm obviously doing a good job, just believe in my skills. But so it was a hindrance at the beginning. Now I think it's an asset because they're understanding that they want, all these TV shows are shooting in different languages and they're using subtitles, thank God, you know, like, so I think it's super awesome that they want somebody to speak Spanish and English as a role because, hello, they're Hispanic and American and like me, and so they can do both, you know, and for Sombra, they wanted somebody to speak Spanish. If not, I wouldn't have booked it. So I do think that we're entering slowly into an age where they care about authenticity and languages and accents are okay instead of must be Hispanic but can't have an accent. You know, I think that it's cool that they're open to all these different things, and so now I do think it's an asset, especially in voice acting. I get to audition for Russian characters, for British. They don't care, you know, as long as I convince them with my voice. So I think it's slowly happening, which is exciting, you know. Yeah, I think accents are the most amazing thing. I love that in Europe everyone speaks at least 2, but like the norm is like, oh no, I speak 4 since I was 5 years old, and it's like, whoa. You know, I think that's a really marvelous thing. It's just communication and languages are beautiful.
For the character of Sombra, did you know the weight behind your voice with the huge ARG that was going on before it came out?
No. They asked me, how did you feel about the ARG? And I go, the AR what? I had no idea, and Blizzard didn't tell me that they were doing this. They just said, oh, wait till your character comes out, she's gonna explode. And I've heard this before where they say it's gonna be huge and then it isn't. So I didn't believe them. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna wait to see what happens when Sombra comes out, because I don't know, I'm not gonna get my hopes up, you know? And then I understood that they've been planting seeds and little secret things in the game, and that people were leaking all these things online. So you know what, I'm glad I didn't know, because it kind of might have freaked me out a little bit more. So I'm glad that I just had no idea what was coming, and then boom, it hit, and it was a really nice surprise. But I learned more and more about the ARG every day. It's super cool, you know? Very creative.
Hi, it's the Danish person again.
Hi.
I think that, yeah, again, you're really cool on the stage, and that's really inspiring because, like, right now I'm freaking out. But So how are you so confident? I love that you're just expressing yourself and being funny and yeah.
You're so sweet. Thank you. You know what I've been thinking? I've been thinking about confidence a lot lately because I meet so many people that come up to me and say, you know, I love how you're so confident, and I don't know how to explain it, but I just think that we have to believe in what we bring to the table. Does that make sense for you guys here? What do you bring to the table? You are a beautiful human being, and you have some talent. It might not be voice acting, it might not be painting. You might be a great bank teller, and you count money like nobody else, you know? Like, I think that we're all good at something. Either communicating or IT and hey, some of us are terrible communicators. But I think that if you believe in what you bring to the table, that will give you confidence. And I keep saying this, I think confidence is sexy, right? Like, if you just walk into a room and you believe what you're doing and what you're saying, don't be a liar, don't pretend you're something you're not, but just, it's gotta be this like very strong feeling within that you come forward with that and express it, you know? And I might be making a fool out of myself up here and like lying down like zenyatta or whatever. In the end, I mean, I think comedy is also fabulous. So if you're laughing at me, I don't care, you know? I think you just have to know that what you're doing is what your heart tells you. This sounds so corny. Oh my God, this sounds so cliche. But if you follow your heart and what you believe in and your gut feeling, I think that takes us far, you know? Lately in auditions, I used to worry, do they want this voice? Do they want that voice? Now I'm like, I'm gonna sound like a pirate. And I send in that audition because I think, heck, they might love it, you know? You just have to you gotta throw something out and see if it sticks, you know? So I think that we just have to be a little bit more bold and live life we only live one life, right? Unless you believe in reincarnation, but that's this whole other story. So you just kind of have to bring it all to the table at once, or else what are we doing? We're living a mediocre life, you know? So yeah. Go out there with confidence, young ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. That sounds more like Schwarzenegger than Reinhardt. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Hi again.
Hi.
Because we were talking about leaks a couple of minutes ago, so there've been a couple of Sombra, like the Mexico skin as well.
Oh yeah.
There's also been a leak for the upcoming Halloween terror event for a new skin of Sombra.
Was that a leak?
Yes.
See, I don't even know these things.
So have you seen the skin, the Frankenstein's Bride, or are you just surprised like all the fans are when it's released, or do you see them beforehand?
Frankenstein's Bride, are you talking about the Diablo skin?
No, it's an upcoming skin for the next Halloween event, I think.
See, I didn't even know about this because one, I don't live online. I try to not be stuck to my phone. Two, I thought the Diablo skin was the Halloween skin. See, you're teaching me stuff here. Is that a real leak or is it pretend? How do we know it's real? I don't know. I think nowadays with the internet everything gets leaked, and so I'm gonna let Blizzard worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about it. Listen, if Play Overwatch in Twitter puts it out, then I retweet it. If not, I have no idea what the heck is going on, because if I say, oh, I love that line that I say to Hammond about blah, 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 and it hasn't come out, I'm worried for my life that I'm gonna get fired. So I just wait till they announce it, and then I feel good. Because we record stuff sometimes way in advance. Like I recorded I Know Who's Been Naughty, like in March. And it took a whole freaking long time to come out at Christmas. So I forget about them, and then when they come out, I go, oh yeah, that, you know? Because then we'll screw it up, and I don't want to deal with that stuff, you know? We gotta be careful, we gotta be super secretive about stuff. Yeah.
Hey, it's me again.
Hello.
I hope you understand the reference, because this is a very important question.
Uh-oh.
Sombra, I need to know where the bathroom is.
Oh. Yeah, that's hysterical. I thought you were gonna go, Sombra, the door. That's one of my favorite moments with Sombra and Reaper. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, was that a question, or you were just saying like awesomeness? Yeah. Oh, cool. Great Reaper, by the way. Good job. Yeah.
Hi, Carolina.
Hello.
Your web series is hobbies for you?
My what?
Your web series is hobbies for you.
Is what for me? I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Is that like a hobby or something?
An hobby? Oh mon Dieu, excusez-moi, I didn't understand.
Sorry,
Yeah, no, but I love that. You see, that's beautiful. The hobby is my web series is my hobby, and that is beautiful to me. I'm not making fun of you. I am celebrating it. I think it's beautiful. Yes, it's a hobby because I don't get paid for it. I borrowed the wigs, I shot it with my iPhone, I edit it myself on my own time. Friends help me sometimes, but I don't have a budget for it. I wanted to do it without a budget because I thought, well, back in the day I had no money. I was living in New York, literally living month to month. With different little acting jobs, and I thought, I want to do something that makes me happy, that I can put out into the world, that makes me creative, and that I don't have to spend thousands of dollars doing. So I thought, what is the easiest? I set up my camera on my tripod that I literally spent $15 on, and I shoot it in my own house. And so it is a hobby, but I take it seriously like a job because I'm putting it out into the world and now you guys are seeing it. So I'm not going to do a crappy job of it just because it's a hobby. Like I want to do my best with these characters. So, you know, I take that seriously, but I do it on my own time, kind of like when I can edit, in the morning or at night. And I really enjoy it. It makes me very happy. So I think that's part of it too. Like, you know what, do something that makes you really happy and then you see what happens with it. The web series existed for 2 years before Overwatch came out, so I think the only people who had seen my web series was my mother, my father, and my sisters, I swear. And then all of a sudden, like, you guys started subscribing because I started doing stuff with Anjali, and then that's how people see it. So you never know where your art is going to go. You just have to kind of put it out and keep working at it and see what happens with it, you know? To all the artists out there, it's a matter of keep sticking with it, you know, and believing that someday you'll get to sell your art or travel with it or whatever the case is. Mark is giving me the eyeball like, the time is running out.
Very confident. Do you have any parting words for your Belgian fans?
I can read your mind. Well, thank you for coming, especially the Dutch and the Danish who came out from so far away, or the French, I don't know where you're all from. Spain is also here. I'm gonna be at the table all afternoon. Come say hi, I'll boop you. We can take pictures. I love hearing your stories of your friends you meet on Overwatch and all that stuff. Keep playing. Please be positive online. Don't call people shitheads or whatever other horrible words you use in Flemish. So be positive online. I really can't stress that enough. And go out and be your best selves. Apagando las luces.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Ravassa!
See you later. See you later.